Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of It Came from the 80s, hosted by the Nerf Herders. It's a gathering of old friends who try to stay cool in the 21st century while reliving our childhood dreams. I'm your host, Carter. Joining us, as always, on the podcast is Ray, the critic after the credits. And rounding out our trio is Jason, the token millennial resident nerd and that jackass that won't shut up. So, guys, what's on the agenda this week?
What are we going to talk about tonight?
Super Bowl. Is this a great one? One of the worst, best Super Bowls of all time? Jason, what are your thoughts?
I literally just left a Super Bowl party, and it was pretty boring for me up until probably last 7 minutes. Commercials were kind of blah too. I wasn't as excited there as I thought I would be. There was some cool stuff. I didn't get to see the Avengers commercial, so I'm gonna go back and watch it. I got a special place in my heart for the Microsoft commercial with the I forget what it's called now, but the keyboard for the disabled. I hate saying it that way. Not keyboard, but the game controller for the disabled. That thing's really, really cool. There's a great story behind that, and I really dig
The
that they're
adaptive
doing
controller?
that. The adaptive controller. Thank you. I thought that was really
no
cool.
I would love to work for a company like that. It's
Right.
amazing.
Yeah, I know. It would be kind of cool. What about you, Ray? What did you think of the Super Bowl?
That was the most boring Super Bowl ever. Can we just go back about a year ago when the Eagles won? Because that game at least was exciting. I pretty much passed out.
How
during
can you
this
say?
thing.
I'm going to disagree with you, Ray. I'm going to disagree with you. If you're a fan of football,
Okay.
this has got to be probably one of the best Super Bowls of all time. Here you got high-flying, NFL-leading offense, in the Los Angeles Rams. The first 8 possessions are held to punts. 8 possessions. They didn't score until right before halftime. And then they kicked a field goal.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing field goal. New England is a team of average players with the GOAT at quarterback, the greatest coach of all time. And
He didn't play that good.
no,
What are
he
you
didn't.
talking about the GOAT?
He did not play that good. Dude's got 6 rings, man. You tell me anybody else has 6 rings. He's the GOAT.
Jordan.
Okay. NFL, football player that has 6 rings. Nobody.
Joe Montana's still a better quarterback.
I'm not arguing that. He may be a better quarterback, but I don't think he's a better, Tom Brady, 6 rings, leads a team. I mean, Julian Edelman's a beast. He's a stud. Gronk's a stud. But it wasn't the offense that won this game. It was their defense.
Right. So
Bill
he can't be the
Belichick
GOAT if his
smothered
defense is the
Goff.
one that's got to save him.
Gurley could never let I keep wanting to call them St. Louis Rams, never let the Rams get any sort of offense going or any sort of rhythm. No, Brady did not play great. He did not play. This wasn't his best Super Bowl. But the dude's got 6 rings.
Yeah.
And I mean, he beat Kansas City in the very same fashion. He did what he had to do when it had to be done. When the game's on the line, Tom Brady shows up. Now, speaking of Joe Montana, the greatest commercial ever in the history of the Super Bowl was that 100th year anniversary of the NFL. That commercial, I watched that thing like 20 times. That was the best commercial I've ever seen.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. I was at a big viewing
man.
party, so I like the Microsoft controller, the adaptive controller one. I thought and I've seen the Hobbs and Shaw trailer. I just felt like I was watching a buddy cop comedy mixed with steroids and P90X. I'll probably go see it just because it looks like your traditional action movie and it's going to have the buddy cop whip to it. But yeah, man, there wasn't that much. I saw there was a Captain Marvel trailer. It seemed like it was all this stuff I've already seen. So, but movie-wise, I was pretty excited about the Avengers trailer. I'm going to go back and watch it. I didn't get to at the time just because it was a room of like 200 people, so it was kind of tough to hear or see anything.
And did we get I never saw, was there a Star Wars?
No,
We
there
get
was
it
not.
tonight?
There was rumors to be a Star Wars one, but there wasn't. But no, there wasn't one.
Okay. And Ray, I know you're an Eagles fan. Fly Eagles, fly. I get it. But this was a great Super Bowl. We've seen some really bad Super Bowls over the years.
Yeah.
And this in the era of offense, and you got a Super Bowl that the winning team wins 13-3. I mean, that's pretty damn impressive.
I mean, I would say I was not entertained or really paying attention until probably the last 7-10 minutes of the game. I just Patriots scored, Rams weren't scoring, and I was just like, this is dragging on, and then they tied it up, and it got interesting there for a little bit, and then of course Patriots won. So spoiler alert.
Hold on, time out. The best thing about this Super Bowl was the jousting competition that turned into a Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah,
commercial.
Where the mountain kills the Bud Knight.
That
Bud
was
Knight.
the best thing about this Super Bowl. That's it. That's it. There's nothing else. I'm sorry. The Super Bowl was horrible. It was. It was boring. Like you said, up to the last 7 minutes, it still was boring. They just happened to score. Like that doesn't keep it from being boring, because once they scored, you're like, okay, there isn't even any drama anymore at this point, because the Rams couldn't do anything. It was.
Well, speaking
the NFL leading offense couldn't do jack. I don't know. Belichick's the greatest coach of all time. Tom Brady's he's the GOAT.
Yeah. Well, speaking of getting killed off, I heard Batfleck's out. If that's correct, isn't that right, Carter?
Yeah, I saw that. He tweeted, and then Matt Reeves kind of confirmed it that Ben Affleck is out as the Batman. Kind of a new shocker. And then I was reading an article on Screen Rant, kind of right before our podcast started, that they're basically claiming that the DCU is dead, and what's next for the DCEU. Yeah, if you're going to go a new direction with Batman, we got Shazam coming out, which they're really, in the article kind of points that they're really trying to step away from the connective tissue between all the DC movies. But what I read about this Batman movie is they want to get, and I mean, I'm trying to figure out the direction they really want to take it, but they said they want to get back to the detective roots of Batman, where he's solving crimes, not just beating people up and using his technology.
Yeah.
And I would like
comic series stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to see them kind of, if they are going to, and they still got a lot of stuff on the roadmap. DC does. If they're gonna if they are gonna reboot the DCEU franchise, so to speak, then I would definitely like to see them go with a younger themed Batman, not go with the older Dark Knight story, although I liked it. But I will see where they take it. If Cavill's out as Superman, now you got Affleck out as Batman. The only constant we've got is Jason Momoa, and then Gal Gadot's doing Wonder Woman 2, which comes out. They pushed that back to 2020. So we'll see where that goes, and then they talked about a Flash movie. I don't know if that's still on the books or not, but you do have Suicide Squad 2 supposed to have different characters. Then we got the teaser trailer for Birds of Prey.
I really think, I don't know, for me personally, I feel like DC could probably excel better at doing a villain showcase, because we don't have great villains. Even in the Marvel universe, there's not a villain. It's not like a menacing, like, oh man, you don't have that Joffrey like you do in Game of Thrones that you just absolutely despise, and they're just evil. And I feel like they might be doing that now with like Birds of Prey, and it's all villainy. And then you got Joker, which surprisingly Joaquin Phoenix looks really creepy as. So I'm holding out some hopes there. I don't like the Shazam. I'm gonna see Shazam, and I'll probably like it, but it just doesn't. It's not piquing a big interest for me. I did watch Aquaman. I'm gonna bring it up so that we're now 14 for 14 on Aquaman. But and I thought it was okay, but I actually didn't. I mean, I don't think it was as great as everybody was hyping it up to be.
That's because you're stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So,
mom's stupid. There we go.
Yeah.
I feel better.
Hey! You don't ever say nothing about his mom. His mom's an angel. I love her to death. We can go to lunch anytime.
I don't know if she's listening tonight.
Doesn't matter. When she does listen, she'll know that I care.
Yeah. One thing, I would like to see where they go if they do a villain's title. I think Batman, in the grand scheme of comic books, he's probably got the deepest rogues gallery of villains. The only person that I think could challenge him for the throne and could possibly take him is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You look at all the villains that Spider-Man and Batman have; they're by far the deepest So let's not regurgitate the same old stories. Let's go after some different villains. I, for one, would love to see in this Deadshot or Deathstroke in Batman. They haven't done that. They kind of teased Deathstroke at the end of Justice League, and Deadshot, obviously Will Smith, but I think they could do a feature movie. But the Spider-Man character, I want to see a villain movie. This would be the end-all be-all of Spider-Man movies if they brought in Kraven the Hunter. There's a great series where Kraven dies at the end of it. And Kraven, if you're not familiar with Kraven the Hunter, is this Russian, Romanian, I'm not sure where he's from, but he hunts wild animals, and he's been hunting Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I would love to see Kraven the Hunter have them do a Kraven movie. That's the one character I think would be really cool. So we'll see where they go with Batman. If the DCU as we know it is dead, then we can basically write off Joe Manganiello as Deathstroke. So maybe we could get a Deathstroke in a Batman movie. We'll see. I'm just tired of the Joker. Almost tired of Catwoman.
I'm very tired of the cookie cutter standard villain characters that you see with Batman. That's actually I've kind of surprisingly enjoyed Titans a little bit. It's diverting from that a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
Well, one thing I shared, and I shared it with you guys, I ran across this, and I thought it was pretty awesome. It was a fan flick made of Moon Knight. And, switching genres here, but Moon Knight's a Marvel character, and he's kind of a vigilante. He's like a split personality, in street clothes. Then he puts on the Moon Knight costume and just kills mob guys and kills badasses. So he's kind of an interesting character, not a very mainstream guy, but the fan film was really cool. I don't know if any of you guys watched it or not, but if you get a chance, I'd recommend it. It's pretty decently made, and it's kind of an intriguing story. Ray, did you watch it?
No, I didn't get a chance to watch it, but basically he's the Batman, quote unquote, of Marvel. Wouldn't you say? I mean, he does basically the same thing. He's a regular man that cowls over a big city and takes out mobsters. Yeah,
I mean, it's close to pretty close to saying that, but
no, I'm not taking anything away from like what you watched or anything. I'm just saying, like, just to give reference.
Yeah, no, and they kind of allude to that in the fan film, but the only difference is he's psychotic and Bruce Wayne isn't. Split personalities, everything else like that. So we'll see. But no, it's pretty cool. I recommend anyone go check it out if you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I just posted it up on the Facebook chat for the stream, so everybody can see it there, and we can post it on Twitter and stuff too. I haven't seen it yet. I'm definitely interested in it. I'm also fighting a chest cold. Sorry, guys. But I haven't got a chance to watch it. I actually enjoy fan film stuff like that for a couple of reasons. One, I think it's cool and unique when people can take their creative liberties with it, but also they're people that know the characters and stick to the characters, and they put the effort into it. There was a really cool one that's really, really old that I used to enjoy watching. It was Batman versus Alien versus Predator. I don't know if you've seen that, and it was really, really cool when it came back out back in the day on YouTube.
Missed that one too.
Yeah,
put that up on the chat.
I think I saw that one. They also did Batman versus Darth Vader. Is that the same series?
I don't know if it's the same one, but I enjoy fan film stuff like that. There's one my brother and I used to watch. It was funny. It was a parody on Star Wars called Troops. I don't know if you've ever seen that, and it's the stormtroopers driving around on Tatooine, and they get the police calls, and they show up with Owen and Beru, and they're fighting, and they end up shooting them all because they think she has a gun or something, and they all dead. And then, of course, it ties back to how they died in the movie. It's a joke, so I like stuff like that. I think it's really fun. So, but no, I haven't seen Moon Knight. I definitely want to see it, though.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then you had posted something up on our Discord about the Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, it's an adult superhero series coming out. I think it's on Amazon, and it says Netflix. I'm sorry. It's a Netflix series called The Umbrella Corp. I don't know much about it. It's got Carl Urban in it, which I'm kind of a Carl Urban fan. I don't know why. But it looks interesting. It looks kind of promising, and I'm curious how it's going to look when it comes out.
I'm sorry. I want to give my TV recommendation for the week since we're just throwing stuff out there. And I know I've told you guys to watch this, and I'm sure you haven't. But have either one of you had the chance to watch Deadly Class?
Deadly
Not yet.
Class? I've never even heard of it.
Deadly Class. Yes, it's on Sci-Fi, right?
Yeah, no, I want to
And
watch it. I haven't started it yet.
that show is pretty good. So the premise is, Jason, there's this kid, right? And he basically his parents die. He's grown up in an orphanage. He's mistreated or whatever, and then he quote unquote burns down the orphanage, right? So he blames Ronald Reagan because this is in the 80s when it's happening. He blames Ronald Reagan for his parents dying. And decides he's either going to kill Ronald Reagan or kill himself. So he's about to kill himself, and then all of a sudden, this group of teenagers shows up and says, "Hey, we want to show you something a little different." And they basically recruit him to go to this school, and the school is just filled with kids that they're trying to teach to be assassins or basically be bad guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, through the whole thing. So like you have, but each of the school has its cliques, right? So you have like the Asian clique, you have who are the what's that gang? What's the gang? Asian gang.
There's the
Yakuza?
Yakuza or the
Yeah,
Triads?
thank you. Yeah, one of them too. But it's the Yakuza. I think that's one of them. Then they have like a Black Street gangs, like the Crips or something like that. They got their own thing. Then you have like a Hispanic gang, and then you have like the Dixie Mafia. Then you have all these kids who are like all these kids are legacies, right? So that's how they get to be in these groups. And then you have like the accountants for like NASA and all. It's like an eclectic group of kids, right, who click up. And since he is not a legacy, he has to join these kids called the Rats, right? So they're just people who they bring into the school because they think they could be useful, or if you kind of look at it as you're watching it, they kind of bring him in to be tortured. So he's one of them, but then like his biggest thing is he hates bullies. And of course, all these people who are clicking up are bullies. So it's a very interesting show. It's got Henry Rollins in it. It's got old boy who's watching The Sanctum right now because Doctor Strange died.
Fong?
He's in it. Yeah, he's got Fong in it. So
It's not Fong.
Wong.
I think
Wong,
Thank
yes.
you. I'm thinking of Fong's from
Wong.
the computer game show or TV show called Reboot.
right. So basically, like I said, I think you guys will really enjoy it. I think our listeners will enjoy it. I've been trying to promote this because it's one of those shows that like you kind of it's based off I believe a comic book too. So it's
Yeah.
one of those shows that you're like kind of like, let me check this out. And then when you see it, you're like, this is kind of an amazing show. So
No, I want to watch it. Brooke started it. I think I've got it all on the DVR. It looks cool. I like some of those sci-fi shows. I like that. I like The Magician. So,
did you ever watch Happy?
No, I never did.
Okay.
I heard about it, though.
Jason, you have no clue what I'm talking about any of this stuff, right?
No, not when it comes to sci-fi shows. I've tried to watch.
Although
them, and
I
just
am
lost
still kind of
interest.
pissed off at Sci-Fi for canceling my favorite show of all time.
What was
Let's
that?
not talk about it. No, don't ask
Expanse
Jason.
or
Oh,
Yes.
No, I tried to watch it. I got bored.
Everyone got bored but Carter. That's why they canceled it and then took it to Amazon. And I'm pretty sure Amazon canceled it because Carter was
No,
the
they're
only
getting
person
another
watching it.
season
No,
myself.
they're in production. Jeff
Jason,
Bezos
it's
lo-
funnier whenever I'm saying that it's being canceled because Carter's the only one watching it. Come on, man.
Yeah. Jeff Bezos loves the show, so he's private. He's funding it with his own money, although he's
He ain't got much
half
money.
his
I was gonna say half his money's gone.
Dude,
now.
he still has $50 billion.
No,
I
I
don't.
know. I'm just being
yeah.
funny.
I like
So-
the guy's hurting for coin.
He gave that to her?
Well, it's like
It was a divorce. There was no
a
prenup.
divorce. Yeah,
You get half.
He didn't need all that money anyway.
exactly. So
Yeah. Well, good time.
cool. Yeah. I mean, I'll check it out, Ray. I definitely want to see it. Watch that Moon Knight video. It's like 20 minutes long. It's not too terribly long. It's kind of, there is some cheese to it. I mean, it's not the best special effects. In fact, he kind of looks like he's got a Iron Man helmet that's just painted white. So it wasn't a whole lot of budget for this movie, but it's entertaining.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot after the podcast is over tonight. So I want to talk about. I know we jump in. We talk a whole lot about comics today, but I want to talk about some gaming stuff. I thought was kind of cool. Is Xbox Live is moving beyond the Microsoft platform, and they're going to allow you interconnection between iOS, Android, and Switch. And so you'll be able to chat, and it'll have like a developer kits, so you can have achievements and clubs and stuff across all of the those different ecosystems, which I think is really interesting for them because we've talked about it before, but they've got that game streaming service they're piloting at some point this year called xCloud, and then there's the rumored cloud only Xbox where it's just going to be streaming information as well. I'm curious, what do you guys think about that from a gaming and market standpoint?
Right, since you're the big gamer, I'll let you go ahead and take this one.
That sounds amazing. I don't know. I don't know. Why do you know I'm not a gamer. You guys talk about this. I'll interject when I hear something I can interject with. I don't know.
Okay, but can you please, make no implications of Skynet or
Robot
anything like that?
invasions.
Robot invasions.
That's not okay. I'm glad you brought that up. See, I am so glad you brought that up because I was watching the Super Bowl, right? Like everyone else in the world. Did you guys notice how many like robot commercials there were, or like Alexa commercials, or electric car commercials? I think they're trying to tell you right now what's going to happen in about 10 years when all these robots rise up and kill us. The little baby one.
I think your foil hat's on a little too tight.
Did you see the kid one? Did you see that? Did you see the kid one?
Well, the little baby and he wants to be an accountant or whatever.
Yes, it was the TurboTax one. Okay, y'all keep playing with these robots. Keep playing with them. Keep voice activating Alexa and see what happens. See, I know there are people that talk crazy to Alexa. She cannot wait till they use us like batteries.
Harrison Ford's dog ordered a bunch of food from Alexa, so that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Listen, Harrison Ford is a replica. We know that now. Come on.
That is true. Good
Read
point.
the signs, people. Read the signs. Now talk about your little video games.
Well, I know you're not the gamer, so I think that it's definitely a step in the right direction for the video gaming industry, and I think we had talked about it a while back about Microsoft kind of being forward thinking a little bit in the future of games.
Yep.
And becoming more of a service rather than a destination.
Yeah, I think they're moving towards that ecosystem experience where
for sure.
They can moving away from the device itself and into cross device and those types of things. So I think it's cool though. I mean, at the end of the day, I would love to. Steam kind of came into the marketplace for PC gaming as that central hub to you buy all your games here, and there's a community of people to chat through, and they've got a streaming thing now, and they've got all the voice chat stuff you can all do through Steam, and that's really it. And then Epic's kind of came in and disrupted that a little bit, and there's a couple other ones out there, just depending upon what game genre you're looking at. But I think that there's nothing from a console market standpoint that unifies everybody together, and I know that you've got Sony over there. We're the best console ever, and the best experiences with the PlayStation and PlayStation account, yada yada yada. And I get that.
Yeah, but now that Microsoft is doing cross-platform with Nintendo, Sony's gonna be left out in the cold on that conference.
Well, just look at us on our, and look at us. We can see it, but on our Discord group that we have for Xbox, we sit on there and talk constantly about PC games and other consoles all the time, and I would love to be able to breach that community because maybe I should get a PlayStation 4 to play a couple of games, maybe not. I don't know. I mean, is it worth the investment? Should I just go with the 3 and play some of the classics, or go even back further and go PlayStation 2 like I used to have? I enjoy that community more than anything else because you can throw shade at each other and you can have fun with it. And tease everybody, but it is nice to be able to. I would love for us to sit down one night and play something on Game Pass where I'm on PC and you're on Xbox, and let's see who does better, mouse and keyboard or controller at the same game in a cross-platform environment. Let's have that discussion. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
So. See, I just want to battle people who play Madden like on Xbox because they always try to challenge me, and then I'm like, I don't really know the buttons, so I'm like, this sucks. But I guarantee I'd wreck shop if I was on a PlayStation 4 and they were on an Xbox and like, let's go head up. It's whatever you want to do. Yep. Put some money on it.
Well, and that's I mean, the unfortunate thing is until we do get more cross-platform support from the providers, that can't ever happen.
Yeah.
EA wants it. EA doesn't care. they're selling a copy of Madden to whoever. EA has their own server farms. They'd probably love to have the traffic on there. But it's just, I say it, but it's just Sony's, selfish ways, just saying that they're having an elitist complex that they're going to be out. They're going to be outman out. So I love it.
Yeah, well, they've always been that way. Think about it when it came to just in the market. They had the mini disc player. They had the Sony memory stick, and everybody else was on SD cards, and they stuck with that market forever. I mean, even when the battle was lost, they were still going hard with their memory stick. And that's gone.
Yeah, Sony's always had a proprietary, tried to have a proprietary system, and they've lost more than they won. I mean, you go back and look at the VHS versus Betamax,
yep.
or Laserdisc, or mini disc, or the PSP. I mean, yeah, they've always tried to. They have lost more than they won. They won with Blu-ray, they won with PlayStation, and it came out when there was an era of no real console games. I mean, Nintendo was king at that point.
Yeah,
but they came out with titles like Resident Evil and Twisted Metal.
Which, by the way, the Resident Evil 2 remake, I can't wait to play. It looks freaking awesome. Everybody says it's really scary.
So and then they created a shift, a shift in the gaming world that I think we're all benefiting from. So, but on this in the big picture of crossplay and touch points, they don't change their ways. They're going to be riding this one out on their own.
Yeah. Well, just real quick, I did a poll on Facebook for us, and said Super Bowl, super awesome, Super Bowl bore, and I don't know what the results are. Let's publish results. 100% of respondents said super awesome. So, however many people responded.
Obviously, Ray didn't comment.
No, I did not.
So, anyway, what else we want to talk about, or do we want to jump into Carter's interesting movie, to say the least?
Keep it real, fellas. I keep it real. I don't know. I'm good. I think we've kind of hit all the high points of the week. So yeah, we can roll into the Midlife Crisis matinee.
Hold on, before we roll into that, I am kind of mad that Jason didn't see the in-game trailer. It was pretty good, Jason.
No, it looked good. I was very interested by it. I just didn't get. I mean, I'm in a room with maybe 200 other people, and everybody's talking, and it's like I see it, and I'm like, ooh, that looks good. I'm trying to listen, and then I have friends talking to me, and I'm not going to be like, hey, shut
Buffalo
up.
Wild Wings or something?
No, a friend of ours has a venue, and we took my projector over there and just kind of potlucked it with a bunch of people. 200 people, and I say that's like with kids and everything, so.
Yeah.
I'm just even more confused about this movie, though, and I guess I'm supposed to be after seeing that. I don't know, man. How is Captain Marvel? So, like, what does she do in this movie? Because it gives absolutely no indication that she's even in this movie. No, but they've said that she's a big part of this movie. They've already established that.
Well, they're not going to reveal it in the trailer, then it ruins the movie.
I understand that, but at least you should have some. I don't know.
And the Russo brothers are great at deception, because we also thought the Hulk was going to be fighting, the invasion of Wakanda.
He is. I can already tell you that right now. I know that clip. I guarantee is in this movie. Like how when they rewrite history, that's him busting out of that the Hulkbuster, and then that's him running to fight at the end of the movie. I guarantee it. Guarantee. I put money on it right now.
Maybe $2 right now on it. I don't know. It was a really, really cool. What was it, like a 30-second, maybe a minute? It wasn't that long.
No, not at all. But it was very impactful, and I don't know. Like I said, I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah. So can't talk about it though because Jason hadn't watched it yet.
That's fine. Well,
okay, fine.
Cool. Well, let's start the trailer for Carter's interesting movie.
In 1955, an extraordinary object landed on Earth.
Has the press gotten wind of this yet?
We don't think so, sir.
If this got out, it could change the course of civilization. Briefly.
Well, they pulled the engine out.
Get rid of it.
In 1985, seniors at Kit Carson High
School tax, Jellyfish. Come on.
were working on their science projects when Mike Harmon discovered the engine.
I wonder what this thing runs on. Unleaded.
He fixed it.
Unless your project is Dino Supreme, you both get D's.
Hey, I'll take it.
And he called it My Science Project. But he didn't turn it in. He turned it loose.
Hey, I seen lights like this at an Ozzy Osbourne concert.
This is bigger than the planet.
Is this like when you told us we could smoke banana peels?
Great, there goes my D.
It's dangerous. You could wind up in another...
Something tells me we ain't in Kansas no more, Toto. Sure, what's he saying? He's going to kick off.
What are we gonna do?
About 1 to 5 of good behavior. Hit the blow up. Whoa, now we are talking hyperspace.
My Science Project.
Now that was a ride.
Yeah, so Carter, tell us about My Science Project.
It was. I remember watching it. Way back in the '80s, whenever it came out, and I always enjoyed the movie. Kind of a different spin. You had Real Genius and Weird Science. Then you had My Science Project. So kind of a different take on those. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of fun. It was a little different. Alien. UFO crashes in the desert, and then we bury it, and then this kid finds the part, and he's just a gearhead trying to think he can somehow put it into his GTO and get 50 more horsepower out of the thing, and he ends up creating a time vortex, and then Dennis Hopper's in it, and I don't know. I just thought it was a fun ride. Kind of super cheesy. It as far as living with the constant theme of B movies that we watch, I think it's up there. I'm not going to say it's a great movie or anything, but definitely better than Masters of the Universe.
It was not. Not even a little bit.
I'm going to say it's
You're a
better than
liar.
Masters of the Universe. So, I mean, this one has dinosaurs in it.
Exactly.
I mean, what does Masters of the Universe have?
It has a key that
we don't have
do.
Orko. All we have is Courtney Cox, bad acting, and a really bad synthesizer toy.
Yes, it was amazing.
We also have Dennis Hopper in this movie. So pop quiz hot shot. What's better than that?
And we have a GTO. The goat is in this.
Yeah.
And his buddy. If you look at all the cast of everyone that was in this movie, I mean,
Let's
lot of
talk
them
about
are
his buddy, Fisher Stevens,
Yeah.
the actor. Man,
Yeah.
this dude, I can't figure out what to think of this guy because, I mean, he's born in Chicago, but he plays Ben from Short Circuit, and his this is going to come off so inappropriate, and I don't mean it to offend anybody, but he's very dark skinned in that movie to be playing a guy who's supposed to be what I believe is to be Indian. And then all of a sudden he goes up later on in his career, he's in Hackers as the Plague, and he looks like your average corporate white villain guy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, in this movie, he's supposed to play like he's from the Bronx or somewhere too. And it's just like, one, he's got very good skill sets to cover that, but it's like, I was just like, wow, this is interesting. And of course he plays your stereotypical, Bronx, Jersey type guy. Oh, and he's also in Super Mario Brothers as Iggy.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
acting. He's an actor. He should have got an Oscar for this.
I think you're right. He is an actor. So, it was a fun. It was let's not get offensive.
I said thespian, not the other.
Okay.
All right,
Barry Corbin plays his dad. And the main guy was in Christine, and he was a bunch of other movies back in the 80s. So
yeah. Oh, Barry Corbin has one of your favorite lines from War Games too.
Yeah. Mr. McKittrick, after all, what does he say? After careful consideration,
you're
under the opinion that your new system sucks.
So awesome.
That's a great movie.
Yeah,
we got to throw that one up. But no, it was fun. It was just a fun ride. It was a blast down the 80s way. It's kind of like the Wraith from last week. So,
So how many people do you think bought one of those little like globe things that you put your fingers on and move it around, the electricity fills it?
Ball?
Yeah, and thought that this was going to happen if you actually got one. Like how many parents thought that?
Probably quite a few.
Oh, there was probably hundreds of them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I saw the
or whatever it was.
It's like a plasma ball or something. I forget.
Plasma ball.
My niece actually had one. We were in Denver over the weekend, and it was battery operated, but it only did one little line off of it. But I thought that was kind of cool. But I remember those things; those were always fun. Yeah, I mean, this movie was just crazy to me because it starts out kind of it looks like it's going to be some type of teen romance movie because you have Gearhead Boy and Starstruck Girl, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, we're going on a date. And all of a sudden, he's like, well, I got to find something for my science project. Let's go to an abandoned airfield military boneyard or, for ships and find me something in here. What?
That's where I'm taking my first date.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. I love that the beginning of the movie, we have a crash UFO, and our response is, get rid of it. Not let's research it or find out. Just get rid of it, guys.
Yeah. What do you want?
They understood what would happen.
Hey, I saw Independence Day. They held on to it, and we were able to save the world. See?
By backward engineering a virus. Yes.
Yeah, we gave it a computer virus.
We gave it a cold.
Yeah.
Gave it a cold.
So, it was an enjoyable movie, Carter. I'll have to say that. It wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I would definitely say that critics did not rave over it, but yeah, I mean, it's a good Saturday morning movie, Saturday afternoon movie.
It was definitely better than the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl had Avengers commercial and Hobbs and Shaw commercials.
No, I'm not talking about the commercial. I'm talking about the actual game.
That Hobbs and Shaw, I'm not into that. I don't. It's no. I mean, it's like superpowers now. I mean, I love.
Oh yeah, Idris Elba is dead and come back to life, and he's like got a robotic suit or something.
Right, and I mean Idris Elba, fantastic actor. Not going to knock his chops whatsoever, but it seems like he is the odds-on candidate to play every movie under the sun. I mean, I saw some list today, and he's on a short list of James Bond replacements. They're gonna.
Which I don't think he would do a bad job as. I don't know if he's great, but
thespian.
I mean, he was in The Office for a while.
No, he's a great.
I thought he was funny in that too.
I'm like I said, I'm not knocking his abilities whatsoever, but it's like, dude, the guy. I mean, you just throw a dartboard and there's a script. Just throwing darts at the dartboard to find a script for this guy to be in. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But this movie looks stupid. It looks absolutely stupid.
Oh, no, there's no denying. This is not a movie you go to expect to get any type of value out of. This is literally P90X and buddy cop bro movie.
Can we look and see where this whole franchise started? Like the very first Fast and Furious, right? It was like kind of set in reality.
Well, it was supposed to be a standalone movie, too.
Right, that's what I'm saying though. But just think about this. It was a pretty good movie. It was just okay. We're trying to look for these people stealing these things,
combo
trucks,
TV VCR combos.
Right. Just stealing like the weirdest stuff.
Hijacking 18-wheeler loads. Yeah.
Perfect.
Now, how they were doing about it was not necessarily probably realistic.
Not at all. I'm just saying though, it was still kind of set in somewhat of reality.
Yeah.
We went from that to now.
Even Fast and Furious 2 or Too Fast, Too Furious, whatever I don't even forget which one it was. It was Too Fast, Too Furious or Fast Furious 2, whatever. When they're in Florida,
drifting?
that one wasn't that bad of an unrealistic reach either. It's when they hit Tokyo Drift and beyond that we went off the rails.
Here's
Tokyo Drift was number 2.
So the Fast and Furious 2001, Too Fast, Too Furious was 2003. Tokyo Drift was 2006. Fast and Furious, because it's not the Fast and the Furious, just Fast and Furious 2009. Fast 5, which was my favorite of all of the movies. 2011, Fast and Furious 6. 2013, Furious 7, 15. Fate of the Furious 17. And then there's a ninth movie.
In the works or something.
In the works. And then we've got this Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah.
I mean, they do make money, so.
Oh man, well, there's an interesting story about Justin Lin, and he's the guy that produced the first one, and I mean they basically just kind of wing this whole movie, you know. Just they had some buddies that had cool cars, and they used probably a lot of the props and stuff like that. But he was paying for this movie with like credit cards, and everybody on the crew would just sign up for a credit card, and they would max it out, and then sign up for another one and max it out, and just to pay for this thing. And for the budget, I'm not sure what the total budget was, but you know, it couldn't have been much. And then they just destroyed $4, and you know, 29% interest on the credit cards.
Yeah.
But just destroyed it. And yeah, these things, they make money.
Yeah, there's no denying that. I will have to say that Fast 5 is probably the turning point for where it went ridiculous, which, no offense, is when The Rock got involved. But
Here, time out before you go. So Fast and Furious had a $38 million budget, and worldwide it made $207 million.
Plus credit card debt.
Plus credit card debt, yes. Plus 29% interest.
So it broke even, is what you're saying.
Probably. I will say this too.
That's why they had to do a second one.
So
total income from the Fast and Furious movies, $5 billion.
I mean, there's no doubting it. It's a moneymaker. People want to see, cars and racing, and you throw in the race car girls and all that cheesiness that goes along with that stereotype and everything else. But I'll say this: when Fast and Furious came out in 2001, I was a junior in high school, just to age you guys a little bit. And I remember walking out, and it's like, I want a Mazda, I want a Mitsubishi, I want a, that was the Toyota Supras and all that stuff. That stuff became so popular quick. So if you're in that market of cars, you just you owe your career and your income now to the Fast Furious movies.
I had a buddy that has always been into fast cars, and he had a Corvette, and when this movie came out, he wanted to just go hang outside the mall and wait for everybody to come out with their 4-cylinder Honda Civics that felt all big and bad, and he just wanted to destroy them across the parking lot.
Oh yeah, I had several friends that would do that because they'd have the coffee cans on there, and then they would be like the crappiest little cars.
2001. After I watched the movie, I think I went and made out in a car. It's about the only thing I wanted to do. I didn't want a fast car. I wanted a fast woman.
Tokyo Drift had an $85 million budget, and it made $158 million. So that's the lowest.
Fast woman.
We got you, Ray.
We heard you the first time.
Yeah.
Furious 7, I guess, is that the one where Paul Walker dies? Made $1.5 million. Fate of the Furious made 1.2.
1.2 million or 1.2 billion?
Oh, I'm sorry, 1.2 billion.
Thank you, because I was like, they made it.
I was gonna say Furious 7 grossed almost 400 million.
Yeah, it made 1.5 billion
worldwide in the opening weekend, but it grossed 1.5 billion worldwide on its own. So I mean, yeah, they're money makers. There's no doubt in that.
It's all good.
Everything.
All right, guys. Well, I mean, I think that kind of sums up this episode. Like us on Facebook, Twitter, leave us feedback, make some recommendations. If we talk too much about video games, tell us to stop talking about video games. Say, bring up books and Dungeons and Dragons or whatever. Make some, we'd always appreciate feedback. Let us know we're doing good. So we don't consider to waste our time if no one's listening, because that's not fun for anybody.
Fun for me.
Fun for, I'd rather be asleep. But anyway, I appreciate everyone tuning in tonight. And, you can download our podcast on iTunes and Spotify. Jason get the podcast loaded up there so everyone can access it through your media source of choice. And we will talk to you guys next week. And as always...